I started a project on the space race, okay, and I had my students, I wanted them to really create, it's a long project. I've got 4 students working in teams to have a project-based assignment, and they need to help me understand what they know about why the space race was so important. What did we today, how do we benefit from it, was it worth the risk? Just help them understand the sequence of events that went through the space race. So I put together a lot of information in this portfolio, this project, that I can share with them. But to show you how this works, I'm going to go into one of these websites. And remember how I showed you that you have that control bar at the top that allows you to use the commands within the context of that page? Well, if you have igotta, you also have the opportunity to take notes on that page also. So if I was a student starting to look at this page as something I want to do some research on, I have the opportunity right now to be able to take notes. So I'm reading through that. My next logical thing is that I want to take notes on it. So I'm going to have this page redisplayed, and what's going to come up is this note card, this online note card. Remember back when we were doing research and we had our little note cards that we had to write stuff on? Well, now this is the opportunity to have an online note card. So within this online note card, I have the opportunity to kind of copy in some information. And maybe as I did some research, I determined that this was something I wanted to capture down here and paste that right in here. Look what happens. Immediately, it knows that I copied something from the internet to put on this note card. So it's telling the student, you may need to paraphrase, quote, or summarize because you brought that information in from the internet. We've been talking to a lot of teachers and they really love that fact because a lot of times that information or that understanding is taught maybe in language arts class. But when the kids go and do their research for science or social studies, that's maybe not at the top of their understanding. So to have that information presented to them right when they need to do it is really useful. Now, because it's an online note card, we can also bring in media. So I can bring in video files, image files, audio files. As I was looking through this website, I noticed there was a great photo gallery around here. And all I need to do, it recognizes the fact that these are images that I can pull in. Click that little box around them, and I can just add that right to my note card. I know using igotta, I have the opportunity to create a document, a slideshow, a timeline. So I know right now that there's a date associated with this, so I might as well go ahead and kind of put that on the note card in case I need it. So I'm good. And now I'm going to click save. Look what happens. Immediately it knew that I got something from the internet. So it's going to guide the students into creating that citation so that they avoid plagiarism, that they cite the source that they need or whatever. So it's going to guide me right there. A nice template comes up and recognized already that I was going to pull something from a website. So I'm going to use that template. And because it's tightly integrated with netTrekker, it was able to already autofill some of the required parts of the citation. All I need to fill in is the website title. There's other fields I can fill in. Some of the optional information which we fill in for you is the URL. It's not required by MLA, but everyone tends to like to have that in the citation. So I'm going to go ahead and just save this at this point. The citation is automatically created. As soon as I click OK, it is saved right with my note card. As soon as I hit save, that note card is added to my stack of note cards up there. So now I have this nice set of note cards, and now I can begin to work with them. Remember how we used to do it? Put them in different order and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm going to now go ahead and use these note cards. Yes, there's MLA and there's Tiberian. Is it APA?
Yes. No, it's Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
We're looking at other options too, but right now there's the two that we have, the Chicago and the MLA. So I'm going to go ahead and say use note cards, and this drops me into the heart of igotta. At this point I have opportunity to continue my research. Maybe I want to put in some note cards from my general knowledge. Maybe I want to put in some note cards from a magazine or maybe an interview I did or anything else. And I can continue to add note cards to my stack. But I can also begin to organize those note cards. And when I organize them, I can create a document, a slideshow, or a timeline. I'm going to go ahead and open up a document that I've already started. And what you're going to see is the document workspace. So what this whole igotta is a 21st century workspace that the students are going to be able to build projects in a digital environment. And because it's online, they can do it at school, they can do it at home, they can do it wherever they're at. So here you see all my note cards. You have the ability to drag note cards into this outline. You have the ability to move items around in this outline. So students are starting to build their document. They're trying to figure out where things want to fall in this outline. You also have the ability to start with the outline. Maybe I want to come in here and just create an outline. I want to brainstorm, figure out what I want. Then I can go do my research and pull those note cards in where they need to be. So you can kind of start in either place, but you have this very flexible tool here to kind of really manipulate this outline. Whatever you have in the outline, those note cards come with it, and then it populates it into this document workspace. From within the document workspace, I can go in and edit the text, add additional text, whatever I want to do. Now that I have that document kind of in the order that I want it, kind of think it as a draft document. I have the ability to print it out. I can view it here full screen. But the real powerful thing is I can download it or email it. When I do that, it comes to me in docx form. And then I can open it up in Word or OpenOffice or anything else to kind of put in any final formatting or anything else I want to do within that word processor tool that I'm very familiar with. Okay? I'm not going to go into slideshow. That's pretty much the same thing. You're able to create a slideshow from the slideshow review. But the really cool thing is creating a timeline. This allows you, same thing, the note cards are the heart of the product, takes those note cards and allows you to create a timeline with those note cards. Because I associated dates with some of mine, and it knows that automatically, so I can say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and plot all those. So I went ahead and plotted all those. This tool here displays really well right within the product because I have the option. I can download it also. It will come down to me either as a PowerPoint, UPTX, or an Adobe PDF file. But I also have the option to view it full screen. If you have a whiteboard, it's a really nice tool to be able to have as the students to be able to present with it. Because I can work with it. I can bring up the pictures associated with it. If I have on my note cards information that I want to display about that. But you have this really nice tool to be able to have the students kind of do the presentation through a timeline type of format. So what do you think?
What kinds of media can you bring in? I saw you bring this picture. Did you bring in a video link?
Yeah, let me bring in. When you add media, these are the formats that you can bring in. You can bring in images, audio, and video. There's just a max size of 25. Each person who has a username and has an account through this gets about 100 meg of space to be able to pull their projects together. We're looking at making it much more collaborative, but right now it's kind of a single user type thing. But what I demonstrated here was I used the project template to create a project, and I created a team of 4 kids to do the project. And so I assigned one kid, you need to do the research on this, you need to research on this, and one person is going to be the editor that's going to pull it all together. Another opportunity would be that everyone creates their own report and downloads it and then pulls it together after it's out. So it's a lot of, it's very collaborative because most of the time you're dividing jobs and then you just need some kind of editor something to pull back together. So it really supports project-based learning very well. Any other questions? Thumbs up? You like it? So you gotta answer the board. What you gotta do? Add some stuff to the board. And then I need to get you a registration key. Okay.